Hey, what's up, BZBTV fans? My name is Matt, and today we're going to be talking about IBC 2022. Shows just ended not too long ago, just over the weekend, and we had quite a bit of presence there at IBC. So, joining me to talk about it today, we have Matthew Allison, one of our regional sales managers, and then over here we have Joel Cruz, our marketing director. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Well, the truth is it's been a rough end of the day, but otherwise good.
Yeah.
The otherwise good is the good part, right? Sometimes you just got
That's
to
right.
look for
There's always
the
a
good
silver
in every
lining.
situation.
Always a silver lining.
Yeah, over here, my body. I think I'm almost back to 100%. My mind and my body, were kind of still in Amsterdam time. Uh, yeah, we're here in California, so it's getting a little easier now.
Yeah. So, how was Amsterdam? I've never been, so you got to tell me a little bit about it.
It was good, man. Like just it's a whole like kind of a culture shock. Like getting used to everything you see in America. Everything's so big cars, big roads. Over there, it's everything's more compact. People were very hospitable, very nice. You just seemed like you were at home over there. Nothing to worry about, and just the sights, man. Just like everything looked very historic. Bricks and cobblestone, and it was just a different. It's quite the experience, but it was very fun and very different.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, I
that's
definitely
great.
agree.
What was that, Matthew?
I think Amsterdam is definitely one of those places that everybody says they want to visit for various reasons. And it definitely hits on every level. We had a great time, met a lot of great people. Come together more as a team that we are here at BZB Gear. That'd be nice if we could bring everybody on a trip like that, so we could all team build. But it was a good time for the six of us, and we set the bar pretty high, and I think we reached that easily.
Definitely.
That's good to hear. So, what was your guys' favorite part about Amsterdam, like the city itself? We'll get to IBC in a minute.
Well, I think like Joel said, the architecture is absolutely amazing. It's it's an old world city. It's a lot older than the United States, and so going somewhere like that and seeing, their thought process for how they're going to build a city when they did versus what we deal with now. And Amsterdam has got tons of canals, so they've got the boats that go through, and I don't know if it's the guys with the sticks that push it. I didn't see that part of it, but yeah, tons of canals, tons of water, and more bicycles than I've ever seen in my life. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was at least for me it was a kind of a trip because on TV I never really seen bicycle commercials on TV. Not since like the 90s when they had Toys R Us, when I was a kid. But over there it's one of their main sources of transportation. So it was just different to see. I saw actual bicycle commercials. Over here you just see motorcycles and cars. I don't really see bicycle commercials. So,
Yeah, I mean, you might
yeah,
if you go to Davis. I'm just throwing that out there. If you go to
yeah.
Davis, you might see them.
So I spent a lot of time in Davis, and Amsterdam is 10-1 what Davis is. I mean, it's literally more bicycles than cars everywhere you went.
Yeah, and it was crazy how it's kind of like I described it as organized chaos, because like the bikes, they have their own lane. It looks like a sidewalk that you walk on, but then you'll get kind of honked. They'll ring the bell behind you and tell you, "Excuse me." And then earlier I was saying they're very hospitable, and I didn't really meet anyone rude, even if you're walking in the way of the bike lane. They just kind of calmly like ring the bell. Hey, excuse me. Move aside. Over here you might get yelled at or cursed at. Yeah, it was just because, but they all knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like crazy, like bikes were going everywhere and cars were making stops and turns, but everybody knew what they were doing. There was no accidents, and yeah.
You're much more likely to get hit by a bicycle than you are a car, though.
Yeah,
That's probably true, at least in Amsterdam.
For sure.
So, IBC 2022, International Broadcasting Convention 2022, Amsterdam. So, which one of you wants to give kind of the rundown of everything that you get to see at Amsterdam at IBC? Like what the show is?
Start, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, I can do just a general sense. I looked at they released some stats on the show. IBC 2022 had about 37,000 attendees, and about 1,000 exhibitors. Just for context, I looked back in 2018, which was the last live show. Excuse me. They had about 50. I forgot what it was, 59, somewhere in the 50,000. So, I mean, but for the first show in 3 years, I mean, it was a good turnout. Like, it seemed like it was packed and there was a lot of traffic. And yeah, I mean, it was just refreshing to be face to face with people again. I know I think they might have tried a virtual show, or that might have been one of the other trade shows, but I mean, when you do a virtual type of event, it's not the same, like these type of shows, you have to be there in person,
Mm-hmm.
get your hands, the products and demo it and just meet, face to face with people. So it was really nice just to, see people again and just shake hands and just, be, with everybody. But yeah, I mean, for the show, it was a success for us. We had two exhibits, our main exhibit, as well as an NDI pavilion with BZBTV. Matthew can touch on that later. He was the one that was the main member at the NDI booth. But yeah, for both exhibits, it turned out great. I know that the team members worked. They came early. They worked really hard to put the booth together. We did have, like Matthew mentioned earlier, we only had about 6 team members. As opposed to when we did the American show, we had almost double. We had about 10, 10, 11 people. So manpower was down. But so, I mean, everybody worked their butts off, and everybody made it a success. And yeah, I mean, it was a fun time there.
Yeah, so it's the first time that we've been to IBC. We were gonna, experience there. But a big part of that was the plan that we went into it with. As we continue to grow as BZB Gear and really have a worldwide presence, we've been working very hard to build out our international distribution. And I think most everybody would agree that we definitely fared better in that area than we expected to, in the sense of the number of people that we met with, the great contacts, just a lot of great partners that we came away from that show with. And it's great for them, it's great for us, and it's great for the people that need good audio video equipment, because now we're going to have a presence worldwide more legitimately than just coming out of Sacramento. So it's an amazing feat that I think we've done. As Joel said, we had the 2 booths. We have our traditional big booth. It's got all of our products and our main guys. And then I was over at the BZBTV NDI Pavilion as a preferred partner. That gave us an opportunity to show off some of our brand new NDI products, like the VPT ZN and the B20 Shan N. And then, of course, again, exhibit our amazing Adamo 4K and DI, which, again, won Best in Show, third award for that camera. So, we went into the show thinking that we needed to reach for somebody else's bar, and I think we really set the bar ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's, I think we've consistently been hitting some pretty notable awards every time we've been to any of these major shows. I mean, it started with NAB, and we just keep seem to hitting a new bar every time we go. So I think a lot of that shout out really needs to go towards our leadership, like Yev. Yev is. I know it can sometimes feel like he pushes buttons a lot, but at the same token, like that kind of mentality really drives us to be better, right? So,
Yeah.
in a lot of
The
respects,
guy
that's
does
kind of the
it
drive
great.
that we need to have in order to be a better company and push our products to the next level, right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, I don't think Yev sleeps.
No, he's got to be probably one of the hardest working individuals. It amazes me how that guy can. I don't get how he functions sometimes with what I hear. I hear he works late and he wakes up really early. Is what I've heard. I've heard he wakes up at like
Absolutely.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely.
I think I heard that when we were at NAB.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other part of our executive team, Vlad, is really there to help. Fill in those gaps. It's a great all around partnership between the two of them, and that just kind of trickles down to the rest of the team and the way that we do things.
Yeah, absolutely. So, tell me just a little bit about your favorite part of what you saw at not NAB, IBC. That wasn't necessarily our stuff. We'll come back to our stuff, but what was some really cool stuff that you guys saw at IBC?
For me, one of the coolest things I saw was really what they're doing with VR and AR. There's a lot of companies there that were doing some really cool, like virtual studios. Amazing technology, amazing progress. For where these things have come in the last couple of years. It really seems like there are some people who took the 2 years of COVID madness and buckled down and decided to create something amazing. And I think that's true for us too with the Adamo 4K. That's kind of setting the same bar that some of these other companies doing AR and VR are doing.
What about you, Joel?
Yeah, no, same thing. I was going to touch on that. Actually, right next to the NDI booth, they did have one. They had a few actually. The VR stages where they had the green screen. They would show off like somebody in the front. It would actually project their shadows onto the whatever that they had virtually set behind them. So it's not like they're just standing there all flat. I don't know. It just they added a lot of the technology is just they added so much depth and like effects, and it was something to see.
That shadow was the difference between 2D and 3D. Okay. It was amazing.
Oh,
yeah. The shadow helped give that 3D effect. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny how you can forget how some of the stuff like shadows or whatnot can add to the depth of an image, right? So it definitely has been really impressive. I know I saw a few of those things at NAB, like those virtual studios that they had set up, and you see it in person, like when you're actually looking at it at the set. It looks okay, but then you see it in camera, and it looks so good, and it's very impressive what they're able to do with that kind of stuff. So we have a few questions in the chat real quick. What was the biggest surprise experience at the show?
Ooh, that's a good question. If you're talking about the show specifically inside the pavilions where we were, I don't know. I got some pretty amazing socks. That was a plus. It's really tough to pinpoint one thing. There were so many companies that have worked so hard over the last few years to really put out some amazing technology. A lot of people were pretty wowed by everything that they saw almost everywhere. I don't want to name any names, but we did have a major camera manufacturer come up and ask us how we keep winning these awards. So there was definitely a lot of surprise for people in a lot of different ways in those pavilions. Outside of it, I would just say walking through Amsterdam is just an amazing experience that everyone needs to do at least one point in their lives. Man, hit the canals, hit Harlem, go into the Circle City, just, enjoy your time there. It's an amazing experience inside and outside of that pavilion.
What about you, Joel? Did anything pop out as the biggest surprise of the show for you?
No, just I was gonna bring up just the award that we got recognized for. I was gonna tell Matthew, hey, that was gonna be a secret for later on in the show, but no, I mean, because you always want to win, but you can't expect to win all the time. But then we ended up, we did get an email towards the end of the show, congratulating us and just telling us, like of all the steps to take afterwards, and what it entails. But no, I mean, everybody, man, it just everyone's hard work, kind of culminated into this camera and into these awards. We got recognized at NAB, and then now at IBC. So like 2 major shows, back to back. We did unveil with the Adamo that with the auto tracking, we've had auto tracking, so we had it set up at our booth at both the NDI and the main booth. So it was cool to everybody was kind of playing around with it. They would walk by and see the camera kind of following them. They'll see themselves on the screen, and then it was just cool to see people walking back and forth trying to juke out the camera, because it's targeted. It has a very super accurate targeting system. So our targeting is how it works. It's not really face. A lot of people thought it was face recognition, but it's more head and shoulder. We didn't want to do face because if the presenter looks away from the camera, it would, it may stop tracking. Mm-hmm. So yeah, eliminates all that. Another big news that we had for the Adamo is we already have a NDI HX3 version and then a non-NDI version. We revealed that we were going to have a 1080p version in the coming year, so a smaller form factor.
The Adamo Junior.
Yes, the Junior. But one of the other big news is we have partnered with Dante, with Audinate, to incorporate Dante AVH into the Adamo as well. So now we have 3 models. We have the regular, we have the NDI HX3, and now we have the Dante AVH. And we actually had a Dante AV. We had 2 cameras, one in our booth and one at the Audinate booth. And it was just real cool to see. A big shout out to Audinate, Gus and Chris over there. They helped set up. They did some marketing content for us at our booth and at theirs. Did some video shoots, but they had our camera set up there. Just incorporated with their whole Dante system, their whole ecosystem. So, it was just exciting to like reveal all of these secrets and just seeing our products live on the show and how they work. It was really exciting.
I'm like Tom Holland in the MCU. If you don't want something getting out there, don't tell me. I'm spoiling the secrets way too early.
Well, just real quick before we continue this, the usual, as you heard from our guy over here, Joel Cruz, the main marketing director man over here, we do have compatibility with Dante. It's Dante AVH for our Adamo. And then, or that is something that we are coming out with. And then on top of that, if you're asking for footage of our auto tracking camera, we should have, I believe, 2 videos that were posted yesterday and today going over that feature. And then we also might have a little bit from previously from one of our other trade shows that we went to with Rob Peretti. So he shows that off as well. But definitely check out our YouTube channel. You can find it. I believe we did release one just today about our auto tracking footage and with a demo. So there you go. So go ahead, Matthew.
Like and subscribe, please.
Well, since I kind of stopped that conversation in its tracks just to respond to that real quick, I want to hit you guys with another question. Flo Jaya B wants to know, how was the food out in Amsterdam?
Ooh, that's a great question.
It was good. We had some spaghetti, some pasta, think we hit up a steakhouse, burger place. I love how everything's, over there. I think it just all in Europe in general, everything's outdoors. So, you eat at restaurants or, bars or cafes. Um, Everybody's just sitting outside, outdoor seating. And that was real like refreshing to see. It's you got the fresh air. You just enjoying the outdoors, and yeah, it was real fun.
What else too is the portions. In America
Oh,
we have these like enormous portions of food,
yeah.
and in Europe it's just it's half of what we would see on a plate, and so it was a little jarring at first, but then you eat it and you're like, okay, well that was enough. That was a good portion size. It worked out well.
Yeah.
We're definitely ready for next year. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, so what you're telling me is it's not going to be Texas-sized portions.
No.
Never, never.
It's one thing that I've noticed around here. I'm like, oh, wow, this is a lot of food.
Another thing I enjoyed was the weather, because back in California, there was that heat wave going on for that week, and getting over there, weather was about 70, nice, not too warm, not too cold. It was raining or kind of like drizzle, like kind of sprinkle drizzle. The first 2 days we were there, but it cleared up. It was sunny the second half of the trip. But yeah, I mean, the weather, the people, man, Amsterdam is a real cool place.
Yeah, we left California. It was 116 degrees. We got to Amsterdam and it was 23 degrees Celsius.
So yeah,
I don't know what the conversion is from Celsius to Fahrenheit, so
yeah, that was the thing. But that was what was kind of difficult, was just the whole conversion, because like just feet and centimeters, Celsius, Fahrenheit, gallons and liters. But I was asking them about how much is gas, and they said two. And I thought, I'm used to like, it's like $5-6 a gallon here in California, and when they said two, I thought, wow, it didn't even affect you guys. But I was thinking dollars, $2 a gallon. So yeah.
all right. So just to wrap it all up with the show before we kind of top it off for today. From what I understand, we also have another new product that we brought with us, and I believe it's called the Cyclops. How is that?
It is called the Cyclops. That's our 4K auto framing, auto track conference camera. Really nice. Looks like a Cyclops, like a sound bar with a nice 4K camera right in the center, and it opens, like eyelids. It's got two what look like eyelids on it. So, Cyclops was the appropriate name for it, and yeah, we got a great response to that. That probably is going to be another product that it's one of those, they order 1,000 and we've got 2,000 coming and then another 1,000. So it's something that's going to move quick. Things have moved over into the conference space a lot after the live streaming of the pandemic era. So that's really the next step in our evolution as BZB Gear, and making sure that we can take care of anything out there in the AV world.
Absolutely. So, I think that just about does it for everything that I could think of about IBC. You guys have anything else you'd like to add about the show?
I'm good. I've got a few very important things to take care of with what I had to deal with in the last hour, so I'm going to cut it short.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to join us, Matthew. It's great seeing you. Hopefully we can make this a little bit more of a regular thing, at least for me seeing you.
We can definitely do that. We miss you in California, my friend.
All right, Matthew. Good luck with everything today. Hopefully the weekend is a much better weekend than today was.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, Matt.
Mm-hmm. All right, Joel, thank you for coming on today. If you guys enjoyed our little live stream here, go ahead and give us a subscribe and a like. Give us a follow. We try to post videos pretty regularly throughout the week. Just new products. We're definitely going to have a lot of new videos coming out over the next few days, coming into this next week, especially on some of our newer products like the Cyclops, and maybe just a little bit more IBC content. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.